Hello, everyone. Welcome to another award-winning edition of the Locker Room Chat. My name is John Williams, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host down on the end, Walter Stair.
Hey there. Good evening.
Yeah, Walter, thank you for being here.
Glad to be here as always. Football time is wonderful time.
Still wearing your orange, I see.
Oh, yes. Very much so. Tennessee had a tough time with Georgia, but I'm always a Vol and always will be in good times and bad, but thank goodness we're having some pretty darn good times now.
And we got a real good guest tonight, the Wartburg Middle School football team. Head coach here beside me, Peyton Tinker.
Yes, sir.
Along with his brother, Heath Tinker. And guys, thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having us. This is awesome.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. Congratulations on the season you had.
Thank you. Thank you. This is his second time ever on the show, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I came on here when I was in high school, and we
Yeah.
used that cloud background over there, and it was
Okay.
over here though then. But
Did you play for Cofield?
played for Cofield.
Okay.
2012 was my senior
Okay,
year,
I
so we
guess
had
you
some good teams.
Was
So
on with Ron Berry and
yeah,
David Queener.
David
Yeah.
Queener.
He left the backwards hat at home.
yeah,
So,
had a
put a little
backwards
more
hat on.
pounds on
I
it.
was chewing gum back then too, so I decided to spit that out.
Yeah. Well, Tennessee football. Just only one thing I can say about it against Georgia. Everybody, bulldogged.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Bulldogged, and it's been a lot of Sunday morning quarterbacks and Monday morning quarterbacks, but all I can say, Georgia was the better team that Saturday, the number one in a couple of polls, defending national champs. So they were 8 or 9 point favorites coming into the game. I was hoping Tennessee would play better, give a better performance, but you got to credit Georgia on that victory.
Well, I have to in so many respects. Georgia was ready to go. I honestly believe they would beat anyone in the country by probably 2 or 3 or 4 touchdowns or more. They were ready. I would have to give them an A+ in that game, and we in a lot of respects beat ourselves, but Georgia beat us on some stuff too. So,
Peyton?
Yeah, I feel like I made the comment that I'd like to see them on a neutral field, simply for the fact that Stetson Bennett kind of made me mad after the game. He was really cocky, and I feel like when you're a walk-on like that and you forget where you came from, then you got to be humbled a little bit. But yeah, he definitely outplayed Hooker, and I thought that Hooker played about as bad as you can get in the worst game of his career, I think. So with all that factored in and the rain and everything, I think that the neutral field, neutral site game, semifinal game would be pretty sweet.
I think the moment was a little too big for them, kind of like our boys when we went to the championship last weekend. I think the moment was too big for them. Latrell Bumphus came on today at 99.1 and said that it was too big for them for most of them. I think that whenever you go into an environment like that, Tennessee likes to play fast, and when they're having to go on a silent count, they're having to pick and choose. Do I play fast or do I pick up the blitz? And more times than not, they decided to still play fast and not pick up the blitz. And also, somebody made a fair point this week, I think it was on the radio, that Hooker stands at 5 yards back and catches that ball and takes 1 or 2 drop steps, which
The pocket collapses really quickly.
it allows the defense to get to him quicker, whereas Bryce Young catches it at 8 yards and drops back to 10. So it was interesting to hear Hooker this week talk about how Heupel wants him to stay at 5 and drop back to 6, but with a team like Georgia, it's really difficult to have time to throw the football, especially on a double move, because you don't have a lot of time. And like I said, with it so loud like it was, especially the rain in the second half, it was just Georgia played really well. We played really poorly. And if you go to Georgia or a place like that in the SEC, you've got to play well to even have a chance in that game.
You're right. You're talking about the moment. Yeah, you're probably correct on that. It was just too big for the Vols, I guess. You look at Tennessee coming into the season, wasn't even ranked, and had an outstanding season, some big wins, and went to LSU and won. But you're going into Georgia, and they, Tennessee moved up to number 1 in the college football playoff poll, and they probably that probably wasn't the best thing for Tennessee in Georgia's term. You know,
Right.
Georgia's some
Tennessee-
more ammo for them.
Tennessee fans are pretty crazy, and I know even me, I was getting really complacent. You know, I was like, man, college football playoff talk. When I'd be happy with a Sugar Bowl appearance, and that was something before the season started that I didn't even think was possible.
Right.
So I was like, man, Outback Bowl, and then the season gets going. You're like, oh, we can go to the Sugar Bowl, and then talk about playoff talk, and you know, the moment, like they said, the moment was way too big, and we really needed that. So if it all works out and we end up in the playoffs, then I'll be really grateful for that loss, honestly.
Yeah.
If we could have played the type of football we played, particularly against LSU, we could have possibly beat them. LSU was a very special win.
Yeah,
There.
absolutely.
I think it helped, too, that was really their first big road test in a hostile environment. I know going to Death Valley is a big deal. I think it really helped Tennessee out a little bit that it was an 11 o'clock game, because going to Death Valley at night it's hard to win there. I think it helped and hurt Tennessee being ranked number 1. It helps because if you lose that game to Georgia, which we did, and you fall, you don't fall as far. Whereas if you go in ranked number 3 and you fall 4 spots, you're ranked 7 or 8. But from a psychological standpoint, I think it kind of, we haven't been there in so long that the kids went in there just.
I also
You
blame
know.
Eric Ainge. So
Oh yeah,
Eric so
Eric
mad.
Ainge gave him some fuel
Don't
too.
speak
So.
Ainge this week.
yeah. That's some more fuel to the fire.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Okay, let's go ahead, and we got the Wartburg Middle School Bulldogs, and you know, we've been talking about the Georgia Bulldogs, but let's meet these Wartburg Bulldogs, and they're fresh off a championship appearance. Tennessee Middle School Athletic Association. What area is that in?
It was area 2, I believe. Yeah, I'm area 2, class 2, class AA. So.
And these guys were fixing to meet. You know, it was first championship appearance for Wartburg Middle School since 1999. Is that correct?
First since '99. First in that specific league ever. So '99. That's a long time. So they deserved it. It was a really, I mean, the season started off pretty rough. You know, we scheduled Midway first game. Sunbright, there was issues with their roster. And so we dropped them and played Midway on 2 days notice, and I mean they won the single A championship. So we started off with a loss at last second play, and you know I think that really hurt our momentum. But after that our guys responded after a tough stretch, and I couldn't be more proud of them. You know I was really frustrated with how we played in the championship game, but golly, they fought, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we talked before the season. We thought that if we beefed up the schedule on the front end, it would really help these kids in the playoffs. For example, playing Midway, we picked them up a day before the game, and Midway ended up going on and winning the single A championship, so that was a good team. We always play Oneida, and then we scheduled Rockwood and replaced Birchfield with Rockwood, and then scheduled La Follette, which is the 3A team. So I think a lot of us going to the championship at the end of the year was our kids were prepared to see whoever they needed to see because we had played the toughest teams on our schedule prior to that.
All right, let's go ahead and meet these young men. Guys, if you would, just go ahead and introduce yourself. These are all 8th graders, right?
Yes, sir.
All 8th graders. And guys, introduce yourself and tell everyone what position you play.
My name's Jeremiah Duncan. I play running back, wide receiver, and outside linebacker.
My name's Aaron Duncan. I play running back and outside linebacker.
My name is Gavin Keithley. I play right guard and defensive tackle.
My name is Hunter Williams. I play wide receiver, outside linebacker, and DB.
My name is Eli Ritter. I play left defensive end and right tackle.
Got a timeout. Timeout here. There we go.
My name is Camden Van Norshen. I play wide receiver and DB.
My name is Malachi Beard. I play lineman.
My name's Caleb Kreitz. I play
right defensive end, middle linebacker sometimes, and tight end.
My name is Jesse Reed. I play wide receiver and defensive end.
My name is Maverick Perez, and I play center.
My name is Tyler Stevens, and I play running back and outside linebacker.
All right, Jeremiah, right? Jeremiah Duncan, hold up. Give us your thoughts on the Tennessee-Georgia game.
Tennessee came out a little rough at the start of the game. Well, most of the game. I thought we could beat them, but Georgia came out and they played a lot better than us. And that's all I got.
What about you, Aaron?
Before the game started, I had hopes for Tennessee. I honestly thought they was going to win, but it started playing poorly. Wasn't as good as I thought they was going to play, and Georgia just came out and played as hard as they could, get the win.
Is everybody Tennessee fans?
I hope
Yes.
so.
Anybody else like to comment on the game?
Yeah, I really thought that Tennessee would beat Georgia. I mean, Tennessee and Georgia, they were both undefeated, both really good teams, good offense, defense. But Georgia just played the better ball game, in my opinion.
Ms. Hunter, what do you think about the Vols' chances of going to the playoffs?
I think they have a really good chance. They have a solid team, good quarterback, receiver. Defense, in my opinion, could pick it up a little bit. But I say they have one of the higher chances to make it to the playoffs in their division.
Anybody else like to comment on the Vols?
That's good stuff, Honor.
Good stuff. What position you play?
Wide receiver, DB, and linebacker.
Would you like to be a coach one day?
I would say middle school or high school. I don't think I would ever want to go to a big league coach.
Okay.
If you guys will notice, some of these kids have little necklaces that their girlfriends have given them.
Yeah, they're in love.
We've got about 3 or 4 over there that have them.
I do. I know.
Who else got a necklace? Raise your hand.
Me. I got a pretty girlfriend, a really pretty one.
Well, we've got 2 kids telling the truth. That's good.
Okay. All right, us. Well, guys, we'll get back to talk to y'all here in a little bit. But we're here with the head coach of the Wartburg Middle School Bulldogs, Peyton Tinker, and his brother Heath Tinker, assistant coach. And who else on y'all's staff? I know Josh Wilson.
Josh Wilson, yeah, stud receiver in Anderson County. We both worked with him. And Josh is an awesome guy. He actually teaches in Knoxville, drives to Wartburg. He drove to Wartburg for game days. So it was great to have him. Coach Barnett, Noah Barnett, he played at Wartburg. Very good player, and he's an awesome coach. He's been on our staff for 3 years now. And then new coach Shannon Morton works with coach with my brother here, and he was a good addition to the staff as well. I'll bring really good, loyal guys. Middle school's tough because you can't pay these guys. So, finding loyal coaches who are also good coaches is hard to do, and we got a good staff, and I'm happy with what we did this year.
And Peyton, what year is this?
Third year.
Third year at
Yes,
Wartburg Middle,
Third
head
year.
coach. And just tell everybody out there a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I went to Coalfield. We both played at Coalfield High School. He was a little better than me, but I don't like to tell him that because he gets really cocky, and it makes me so mad.
He's a little bit older.
He's older, yeah. He's older, but that's why
Couple years.
I pamper him up because I'm the head coach, and I can tell him I can fire him at any time I want to. So
He's not my boss. He's not my boss.
But so I played at Coalfield, and as soon as I graduated, I went and coached at Concord Christian School in Knoxville with Troy Fleming. And then I went and after that season went up to Campbell County. Me and Heath went up to Campbell County and coached with the Price brothers, the twins, and that was interesting. Those are phenomenal guys, phenomenal coaches, and
I forgot you did that.
Yeah, they taught us a lot of stuff, and it going from small school single A ball at Coalfield to 5A, coaching 5A football was tough. Going to Fulton and Oak Ridge and playing, but it was a great experience. And after that, of course, I got the job at Wartburg Middle School. Kind of just threw my name in the hat to see what would happen, and I got it, and got some good references, I believe. So it was awesome. And then I kind of told Heath he wasn't coaching, and I said, "Hey man, you got to come call my defense." And he didn't want to do it at first, but I told him, I said, "Hey, we're in this together, and I trust him." So I said, "You're the head coach of the defense. You call it. I don't bother him." Now, it's when I call my offense, he does bother me, and I tell him that's when I have to take my headset off because me and him almost fist fight on game days. So, but there's nobody else I'd rather coach with, and like I said, these guys were sixth graders whenever I started, and we felt really good about them their eighth grade year, and first year was tough, last year was tough, but we finally went over the hump this year and made it to the championship, and hopefully that lays the groundwork for the future for them actually winning some, bringing some to Wartburg.
And Heath, you're the defensive coordinator?
Defensive coordinator, offensive line coach this year, coached linebackers last year. I kind of double team the offensive line, defensive line with Coach Shannon Morton, and then like you said, Coach Noah Barnett coaches linebackers. And having Josh Wilson coach DBs is really a lot off of our plate because that was kind of our forte at Concord Christian and Campbell County is coaching DBs and wide receivers, so we can really focus heavily on kind of just calling the offense and the defense at that point.
What type of defense do you play?
Well, our base defense in middle school, you get a lot of run-heavy teams. You get a little more pass than you did when we were in middle school.
Not to interrupt you, but we try to. In middle school, it is like you said, it's tough. So we try to coach the DBs up to play man coverage, and then he'll just lay out blitzes left and right, and does a really good job.
I blitz a lot because I feel like in middle school it's really hard for kids to adjust to that. So if we're really good at blitzing and we slant a lot with our defensive linemen, depending on what I like to do is I like to run a 4-4 base defense with an outside linebacker that's capable of coming down to defensive end, or a middle linebacker that can play nose, and then we can bump into a 5-3. Middle school football, you really don't have to bump into a 3-3-5 or anything like that too much. Like I said, it's really run heavy. Mm-hmm. So you're doing a lot of shift, you're slanting a lot, you're blitzing a lot, and like you said, you really have to teach kids how to cover and lock down on the outside, which I do think helps them in high school a lot. When I was in middle school, teams didn't throw a whole lot, and it took me 2 or 3 years in high school to adjust to that, to that constant, 20, 25, 30 passes a game. And so I told our kids, I said, if a middle school team wants to beat us throwing the football, then so be it. And so we stay in man a lot.
Walter?
How many players do you normally have out in this season, and how many games did you play in the regular season? When did you start?
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. You got it. You go. We go for it.
Take it if you want to. You got it. 8 in middle school. It's 8 regular season games.
Okay.
2 years ago, we made it to the semifinals and won a district championship. We got that first round bye, so we played a total of 9 games, lost. Had a little bit of a rebuild year last year. Played 8 games, played first round, lost, and then this year we played 11 games. Played the first round, played the semifinals, won that. So you're looking at anywhere between 8 to 11 games, depending on how good you are. But as far as number of kids, I believe that our lowest.
We've never got lower than 34, and we usually start between 37 and 40. But of course, the past couple of years we've had to kick a few kids off the team, a few kids quit. So we stick around 34 to 40, and that's a really good number for middle school. So I've been happy with that. You're able to run a good scout team, so you can get a good look.
And how do you go about getting guys to come out, or what feeder system, or where do you get the kids from?
Yeah, so it's just strictly our Central Elementary School. They come up from the middle school, and we have 300 and some odd kids in middle school. The problem is that Wartburg's always had this background of basketball. Mm-hmm. So even now, these kids can tell you there's a ton of athletes in the school, a ton of big linemen in the school that just don't play. And I know Coach Pills at the high school, he's doing a phenomenal job. He's struggling with that right now too, is getting numbers. You just got to get kids believing. When you set a culture and you set a standard and try to get kids out, it's tough because there's we could have probably fielded a whole other team of kids who didn't play that's in the school. So it's been hard, but, I tell the kids, when the season starts, I'll roll with what we have. I don't care who it is, and, we'll go with it.
The thing
Like you all sort of are more of a basketball school, as Coalfield that you all are from is a little bit more of a football school,
Right.
and so it ebb and flows
Absolutely.
that way.
One thing you want to do with middle school kids to get them out is you really want to make the experience of playing middle school football fun. So like this year we got the new uniforms, we upgraded stuff at the school, got new signs. We feed them like before every game like a high school would. We did a police escort for the championship game, and so we try to do stuff that makes it a really fun experience. So you got kids in the school that really want to come out and play.
The want to and the support in the community is there. I mean, it's people, not collectively like as a whole, but you got individuals in Wartburg who are willing to help and want to see football succeed. Our booster club, and we have individuals. Our parents are phenomenal, and they, volunteer to help. So it's laid out, it's there. We just got to have the kids believing, and we got to do our job and coach them up, and make them as good as possible and have a lot of fun. We yell a lot. Me and him both scream a lot, but we also love on the kids, and they know that we love them, even though they frustrate me sometimes.
And Dustin Peels, right?
Yep,
First
yes, sir.
first year head coach at Wartburg. Wartburg 3-7 this season. I know y'all are sending him a good group.
Yeah, he absolutely. He did a great job. That was a tough scenario coming in. The situation, of how everything played out in the off season was tough.
Right.
So
a couple coaches.
it was difficult. But he's done a phenomenal job. Showed up at every single game we had. So I have nothing but good things to say about him. And I hope that we are, some middle schools and high schools use the same terminology and use the same exact system. We don't do that, but what we do is try to train these kids to where they know exactly what to do and how to play football. And I feel like that we do a good job. Our other coaches do a good job of developing these kids and getting them ready to go. So, I hope that these kids stick to it and actually play in high school, because that's another problem is they play in middle school and they get up to high school and don't show up. So and that's tough. And Coach Pills knows that, and he's doing a good job of getting these kids out. So hopefully they stick with it over there.
One thing that's improved, like I was talking about with the middle school, is kids at the high school. You come to our middle school games, and the high school football players, star wide receiver Landon Quinney, he's up there running the clock. We got a kid running the chain gang. All the high school boys are really involved there, and what we hear from them is that they're really having fun at the high school. And that's the first thing you have to do, is you have to say, what can we do to make sure these kids are actually enjoying playing high school football? And I think Coach Pills, and he's got a really good group of assistants. I know one or two of them used to help us coach, and then they moved up into the high school, and they're just great. And I think that they're really getting involved with the kids, and I think it's a much more enjoyable experience for the kids, and I think that's a big deal.
Yeah, it sounds like a good environment. Plus, you have these kids, y'all coach. I'm sure they look up to those high school kids.
And you got a lot of brothers playing. So I know Jeremiah, number 19, his brother's a quarterback, Damon. And so, if you got I experienced with him, if you got somebody you can throw to in the yard every day, and compete with, and that's only going to help you get better.
In Wartburg High School, they picked up a game after the season, right?
Yeah, Pickett County.
That's what. So they won.
Finished 4-7.
Yeah, they won that game. I saw where they big, like 44-0 or something.
Yeah.
So,
And it was sanctioned, so that one counts. So 4-7. Really, 3 wins would have been an improvement on the year before, and just not even looking at the record, looking at the play on the field, you can really tell that they improved. And you can
the
really
Coalfield
tell.
game was 14-6.
Right.
And
That caught my eye.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And I love Coalfield people, but that wasn't a fluke. I mean, I'll tell you that. I watched the game. I've seen flukes. That wasn't a fluke. That was Wartburg came to play that day, and it was 14-6, and Wartburg had every chance to win that game. They shot themselves in the foot, honestly. And Coalfield's obviously who they are and bounced back, but Wartburg wasn't afraid of them, and that's something that you haven't seen in the past, and they were not afraid at all.
I think that game did some good for both teams. I think Wartburg got some confidence from that game, and I think it was a good lesson for Coalfield moving forward. And I think both teams benefited from that first game.
Certainly woke the Yellow Jackets up, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and take our first break of the night, and we'll be back to visit with these Wartburg Bulldog Middle School football players. So stick around. If you want to, give us a call as well. We'll be right back. You're watching the Locker Room Chat.
Football is back, and OAB Law is excited for a season full of big hits and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OAB Law will come to your defense. Call OAB Law and turn your wreck into a check.
Pat Ryan here with Kathy Mae Martin. If you're thinking of buying or selling real estate, then make the right play call and contact Kathy Mae Martin for all your real estate needs. Kathy's 30-plus years of knowledge and experience gives her clients the competitive edge. You know, like me on game day. Kick is up and it's good. Kathy Mae Martin for all your real estate needs.
Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman is East Tennessee's best choice for pre-owned vehicle sales and service. Earl Duff is a name you know and trust, and we have been meeting the automotive needs of Roane and surrounding counties for over 49 years. Shopping with us is easy, and we treat our customers like family. From sales to finance to service, we're your one-stop shop for everything automotive. Don't settle for less with your next pre-owned vehicle purchase. Come to Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman or online at duffpreowned.com.
RMG. Bring your junk, cars, aluminum cans. We buy it on the spot and we pay you a lot. We treat you like family at RMG. Yeah, we treat you like family at RMG. Rome Metals, we treat you like family.
Rome Metals is located just off of Highway 27 between Harriman and Rockwood.
Football is back, and OAB Law is excited for a season full of big hits and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OAB Law will come to your defense. Call OAB Law and turn your wreck into a check.
Welcome back into the Locker Room Chat. We're visiting with Wartburg Middle School football team. Went to the championship game, finished runner-up in the Tennessee Middle School Area 2, right?
Yes, sir.
And we have on with us Coach Peyton Tinker, assistant coach Heath Tinker. And guys, let's chat with y'all a little bit more again. Peyton, I know you're doing some work down at Middle Tennessee State University as well.
Yes,
Talk
sir.
about that.
Yeah, that's been awesome. I kind of thought I'd dabble into the athletic director. I've kind of looked into that, and I reached out to MTSU and was lucky enough to meet Lee DeLeon. He's their deputy athletic director, and he kind of just told me, hey, come down and we'll meet and see if you like it. And I went down there, and he's a phenomenal guy. great faith-based guy, and so I feel like I was led to be there and work over there, and it was amazing. So I'm still technically employed there because I work game day operations for baseball also.
But that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it was great. It was an awesome experience, and I wish I could go back more, but I try to go back when I can. They offered me a job to work the football games, but I couldn't do it. It was kind of tough, going back and forth. Gas prices are too high.
Now, you teach at Wartburg?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
You at the middle school?
Yep. Middle school, computer technology. So. Okay.
And what's some of your goals for the future?
Yeah, I've got a 5-year-old son, and he's my world, and I'm building a house right now, so I'm kind of taking it slow, taking it a day at a time with things, but just trying to figure out what my path looks like, and I'm just trying to live a day at a time.
You want to stay in coaching, right?
Yeah, I enjoy it a lot. It's stressful, it really is. It's at times, but it's rewarding whenever I know a couple of years ago, one thing that always stuck out to me was, I felt really discouraged, and there was at the end of the game, our last game, my first year coaching, we had all of our 8th graders basically cried and was telling us, how much that we meant to them, and that I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that they felt that strongly about me, and that I made that much of an impact, and that was really rewarding, and I love those guys. I love coaching. I love coaching with my brother, even though we butt heads, so it's fun.
Are you the offensive coordinator?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And you played at Coalfield. I know you played in the state championship with Yellow Jackets, right?
First state championship appearance, first and only in county history. We made it up there. Again, like he was saying, with a tough schedule. We played a tough schedule. We played
2014.
2014. Yep. We played Knox Catholic when they had Amari Rogers, and it was 61-0 at halftime. And we played another guy who was he was a freshman All-American at Arizona State named Kareem Moore at Notre Dame, Chattanooga Notre Dame. So we played a tough schedule, and that only helped us in the playoffs because regular season was 6-4, and then we finished 10-5. So. And it was a great experience. I know that.
I went to the state championship, and I believe you played at Union City.
Yeah,
and
Union City.
I remember watching that game, and y'all played them tough the first half.
It was tough. Yeah, we came out. They didn't expect it. They haven't at that point they hadn't trailed in 2 years. Not even been down in a game, and we were up 8-6 on them. They had NFL athletes on the field. Javante Moffitt was one of their running backs, and he played with the Cleveland Browns, and. They were a really good football team, and it was 14-8 at halftime, and they obviously were a different animal. They came out the second half and put it on us, but being there and playing in that game was amazing because that's as far as you can go.
And you played a wide receiver.
Yes, sir. I dropped a lot of balls, but.
You played defense?
Yeah, I was a DB. I always tell people when they ask me what I played, I always say corner first because I was a better corner than receiver. Because, there was a good chance I was dropping a pass. I was a running back, but then I get to high school, and they were like, you're too small. And so I was like, well, I don't have the hands that he's got. So either hand it to me or there's a good chance I'm going to drop it.
Well, Heath, tell everybody out there about yourself.
Well, I'm 27 years old. I'm the defensive coordinator. I told him he's not my boss. Coached high school football at Concord Christian. So started off in the private Christian school. So then we go to Campbell County. We get to kind of, be on the sidelines against Fulton, and we scrimmage Maryville, scrimmage Catholic, play Oak Ridge. So we got the feel for the high school football thing there in 5A. Took a year off, and then he calls me and tells me that he's going to interview for the Wartburg Middle School job. And I said, well, hopefully they'll offer you a coordinator job. And then he calls me back, and he says, they hired me. He said, you got to come coach with me. I said, I kind of like what I'm doing right now, which is getting chunky on the couch. And so basically, really happy that we made the decision to do this because coaching middle school football is, there's still a purity and they're still kids. It's the weirdest age group to coach because they come into 6th grade and they're still a kid. They leave 8th grade, they've got facial hair. You know what I mean? Everyone in high school football, some of them, Some of them wish they had some. High school football, everyone, freshman to senior, everyone's a man, you know what I mean? And everyone in Little League's a kid. Well, this is the one age group where you have kids and guys coming into their own and becoming men on the same team. So it's kind of a weird little age group to coach. But I'm a drug and alcohol abuse counselor. I've been working in facilities with people who have struggle with addiction. I've worked with special needs kids for about 4 or 5 years, and that's kind of what I've always done. I worked at Norwood Elementary School for a little while as their computer teacher, but I've always kind of went back to the social work type thing. May end up back at teaching school, which is what my goal was when I was in 6th or 7th grade. I've always wanted to do that, but for now that's what I'm doing, and coaching these kids and doing that, you really feel like you're accomplishing something, even if you can just touch 1 or 2 or 3 people.
Where do you work at?
I work at MCCX at the prison. We have a drug treatment program down there.
County Regional?
Yes, and you would be shocked at how many I drug screen people every week, and you would be shocked at how many people fail drug screens, while they're in stripes. There's a lot of drugs in that prison.
That got real really quickly.
It did, yeah. But at the end of the day, you want to do something. I've always told myself I can't work or I can't do a job unless I'm benefiting somebody, and so that's kind of what I'm doing now. But again, it's really nice to be able to leave there and drive right across the street. You pull up to practice. These kids are already kind of in their gear and stuff, and you pull up and the kids, holler your name and they come give you hugs and stuff, and you really remember, hey man, what, these are kids.
And what you do, you can sort of relate to these kids. I mean, keep them off drugs and just keep them on the right path.
And the thing that we do with these kids, and any coach should do, and most do, is tell them the truth. A good coach, a good parent, a good leader is not going to tell you what you want to hear all the time. And so we coach these kids hard, and we really get after them sometimes. But there's not a kid that, you run into them at Walmart. There's not a kid that doesn't run up and hug you. And so, we
credit that to the parents too for letting us do that, because honestly, these parents have seen us scream and yell bloody murder at these kids, but they truly know that we care about them and that we're doing it for a reason, so they can become better young men, and not just it's not about football all the time, but I try to. We both and the other coaches try to do our best to raise them, help raise them if we can.
Walter?
How many of these guys are going to be playing for the high school?
Every one of them, hopefully.
That's right. Hope we do.
Hopefully, every one of them.
So you're a wonderful feeder system for them.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's our goal, is to get kids prepared for high school football and maybe give them a chance to, when they get into high school, if they go into high school prepared, you know what I mean, then they don't spend 2 or 3 years getting prepared for high school football, and then they might have a chance to go to college and maybe do something with that.
Well, that'd be wonderful.
Yes, sir.
And Heath, you played for Coach Henry at Cofield.
Played for Coach Henry. I've always prided myself on our high school football teams. My freshman year, we went 3-8, lost in the first round to Copper Basin by a lot. Really worked hard. Coach Henry really shifted the coaching staff around, bumped Jason Wilson up to the offensive coordinator, and that's when Jared Henry took over the defense. Brought in Ben Jackson, brought in David Stewart, and that summer, they got us all in a room and they said, guys, we're about to throw the football a lot, and we're about to spread teams out. And that next year, we went from 3-8 to 10-3 with essentially the same starters, give or take. And from that 10-3, then we went 10-2, and then my senior year 11-2. And I pride myself on, Coach Henry and Coach Jared taught us so much, and the way that they ran their program. We didn't really understand how much they put into it until we started coaching, and we seen what it took. And so the sustained success that they had down there, taking that program to another level than what Coach Chris even had it at, was unbelievable. And I think Benson's doing a really good job. Benson played with Benson since I was 5, and Coach Basler and Coach McKinney down at the middle school do a great job. So
You played with Parker McKinney?
He was a freshman on
Parker
my
was
team.
Peyton's quarterback. I played with Cody Hill and Ryan Hill. But every year, my last 3 years, every year we lost to the state champion in the semifinals. So I felt,
South Pittsburgh,
and then my senior year, Gordonsville. But that's really what we want to try to do at Wartburg, is try to get it to where that middle school and that high school is a cohesive unit, like a Cofield or like a team like that. And one thing about it is we've taught these kids, don't go into a game thinking you're going to lose that dang game. And so, Cofield rolls into town, we expect to beat them. Now,
it's a mentality shift.
A mentality shift is all it is. And just like we go into the championship game, we know Oneida's a better team than us. And we would never look at our kids and say that we're going to beat them. You know what I'm saying? I want to go out and beat them. So it's a mentality shift, and those Cofield years I do feel like helped us a lot. But more so than being at Cofield, just the people, Coach Henry, Coach Jared, Coach Basler, and just a lot of the people there. I practicing football next to the high school and watching Coach Chris in his short shorts, grab a guy's face mask and scream bloody murder. You're used to that when you're a kid, in the early 2000s growing up, and it's nothing to you. So hard coaching just comes naturally after that.
You have a family as well, don't you? Have some kids, right?
I do. My stepson's number 50 over here. I've got a little boy and a little girl and a stepdaughter at home. So yeah, got a big family.
That's good. Okay. All right, let's turn our attention to these young men over here, and who wants to go first? Aaron Duncan. And Aaron, let's talk about the season this year that you had. What was it like to, advance as far as y'all went? Well, we got some technical difficulties here.
As good as I am now, I've gotten better over the season. I can tell. Just wasn't very in shape at all beginning of the season, but through the season I gotten better throughout the season.
Okay.
Start of the season, I wasn't doing my hardest because I didn't think I was going to get through much and do much. But through the season, I started realizing I have potential. I can actually do good. Have a good season.
Yes, sir.
Talk about your season.
We started off pretty rough. Went 1-4. We was doing okay going through the middle of the season. I thought we was getting a lot better. And once we played Rockwood, we got beat 24-14, and then we went into the second round of playoffs and beat them 34-16. And whenever we got to the championship, I thought we was going to do pretty good, but we just didn't play like what we should have. We was loafing around and just didn't play as a team.
Okay, next young man. What's your name again?
Caleb Kreitz.
Caleb, talk about the season you had.
Well, like Jeremiah said, at the beginning of the season, we started out rocky. Like he said, we started loafing and stuff, and 1-4, of course. And I started losing hope for the team, honestly. Everyone at school was doubting us that we wouldn't make it. To the playoffs or even championships, but I just use that as a mentality to push myself further than I am than what I was. I started off as a right guard or left guard. Started off and then got put in a totally new position, so I had to learn that. But like everyone said, they didn't have hope for us, really. They doubted us. And then we showed them up, went out to the championships, and we came running up.
Guys, we're going to ask you all some questions here. Each one can answer it. Caleb, you start out. Who's your favorite team? You have a favorite team? Professional team?
I really don't have a favorite team. I play football, but I don't watch a lot of football.
Jeremiah?
I'm going to have to say Tennessee.
Okay. Aaron?
Same here with Jamal. I've been a big Tennessee fan.
You have a favorite professional team? Pro team?
For NFL, it's probably Steelers. I'm like a really big Steelers fan.
Okay, who's that? What's your name?
Gavin Keithley.
Gavin Keithley, okay. You have a favorite team?
For college, probably Alabama. And then for NFL, probably the Chiefs.
Okay, talk about the season you had.
Like Caleb said, we started off rocky, and he was 1-4. Everybody in the school was doubting us, saying we weren't going to make it. We're going to not make it past the playoffs, like first round. But then we made it to championship. Everybody started saying, "Oh, you actually made it," and started shutting them up.
Y'all got on quite a roll there, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Hunter? Who's your favorite team?
For college, I'd go Tennessee. And if we're going pro, it has to be the San Francisco 49ers.
49ers, okay.
Yeah.
All right. What position did you play?
Offense, wide receiver, defense, linebacker, and DB.
What do you like the best?
I like linebacker better. I'm not the best at covering, and I'm not big. I don't like to cover people. I like hitting people more. I like the contact.
You score any touchdowns this year?
No touchdowns, but I do have a 2-point conversion, and I'm really proud of that. Might not be. 2 points is better than no points, in my opinion.
That's right.
That's right, man.
Okay, who's that one? The Yankees hat on.
Eli Ritter.
Eli Ritter. And Eli, what position do you play?
I play right tackle and left defensive end. And I like playing defensive end because I get a lot of contact and get to have a lot of tackles and stuff. But really, my job is just to keep the outside contained, you know. But I'd have to say for my favorite team would be the Chiefs. I have a thing for Patrick Mahomes, you know. I kind of like him. I used to play on Madden, you know, play him, and he was one of my favorite players.
Did you have any sacks this season?
Yeah, I think I had 2 or 3, maybe, but I had a pretty good amount of tackles this year.
Walter?
This is addressed to everyone. How long have y'all played football?
I've been playing ever since I was 4. I started out in Crossville, but throughout my career, I went from Crossville to Wartburg, and then I played a little bit at Cofield in my Little League ages, but in middle school, I went to Wartburg, and that's where I've ended up now.
And do you play any other sports?
I play baseball.
Okay, and go around to your next guy. Same question.
Me, I don't remember really when I started. I know I started the youngest you could be, and I played through that. I did quit football. I didn't quit. It was more of I wasn't allowed to play. One, because my parents didn't trust me enough to keep up with my own gear, and that they were scared I would break. And then I started back up my 6th grade year, and when I first actually came to sign up, I wasn't scared of nobody. I got hit a few times, still hit a few people, but wait, what was the other part of the question?
And do you play any other sports?
No, it's just too much to work with. Football is just it's a lot easier in my opinion than any other sport, and it's much harder to remember more than one sport. And I don't have the biggest span of my brain. I can't remember too much.
Okay. Yeah, the same question. How many years have you been playing football?
Probably my whole life, ever since like the youngest you could be.
Okay. Got a good background on that. And do you play any other sports?
Basketball.
Okay.
I started playing football when I was 4. Played it ever since. Didn't quit 1 year. And I kept number 17 throughout the entire season of playing football. Every year I had 17 ever since I was 4. Kept it since today. And I only play football. I only have a heart thing for football. It's just the only sport I love. I really don't see no interest in the other sports other than basketball. I'll play it now and then, but not as much. I just love football the best. It's my favorite sport.
Play any other sports?
Not just football.
What position did you play?
I play running back and middle linebacker and outside linebacker.
How many touchdowns did you have this year?
I think this year I had 4 touchdowns, if I'm positive, 4 receptions and 1 rushing.
You like offense or defense the best, or about the same?
I like defense the best. I feel better reading the offense and going towards where the ball is. I just like guarding, just going tackling people.
Yeah, Aaron, what's the toughest thing about playing football?
Tough is I think it's the knowledge. You have to have the right mind knowledge and know how to play football, smarts, knowing how to do things, and mentality. If you don't know, say if you don't know how to read plays, then you don't know where it's going to go, and you're going to go in the wrong opposite direction, and you're going to lose the win there.
Okay, Jeremiah, how long have you been playing?
I think about 5 years.
Playing any other sports?
Yeah, I play basketball.
Playing on the middle school team?
Yeah.
How y'all doing?
We're 2-0 right now. Pretty good.
Okay, and Caleb, how long have you been playing?
I've been playing ever since 5th grade year, so I'd probably say 3-4 years. I've played baseball for about 7 years. I really didn't my parents wouldn't let me play football when I was younger. They thought I'd get hurt or break some, so I kind of just stuck with baseball for 7 years and played that.
Play any other sports?
No.
All right, guys, I got some questions we're going to ask you real quick. Pass it around here. Favorite, who's your favorite player?
I'd probably go with Tyreek Hill if we're talking pro, because he's just a great wide receiver. I mean, I hate it that he traded to the Miami Dolphins. I mean, him and Patrick Mahomes was a great couple.
Jeremiah, favorite player?
Derrick Henry.
Derrick Henry. Okay. Aaron?
I had to go with Jeremiah there. Derrick Henry is my favorite pro player. For college, I really don't have one for college.
Gavin?
I'd probably say Patrick Mahomes for NFL.
Hunter?
NFL, I would have to go Nick Bosa. And for college, Hendon Hooker.
I'd have to go with, I would say, if I was talking NFL, I'd go with TJ Watt. But with college, lately, I've been thinking it, and I've liked Hendon Hooker and what he's done at Tennessee.
What's your name again?
Eli Ritter.
Eli Ritter. Okay. What's your favorite food? That's the next question for you guys.
I like pizza and spaghetti,
Okay. Hunter?
Well, there's a lot of foods, but my personal favorite would be hamburgers, because there's a lot of good food. Hamburgers my favorite, because I feel like I'm just a fat guy trapped in a skinny guy's body.
What's the favorite place to eat in Wartburg?
Taco Bell.
Who's got the favorite? Who's got the best burgers in Wartburg?
No, not. Well, yeah, I'd go Sonic.
Sonic?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gavin?
My favorite food? Probably sushi. I love sushi.
Aaron?
I really don't have a favorite food. It's either between tacos or sloppy joes. There's really love them, but I eat tacos more often. Just I'm a really big tacos fan.
I'm gonna have to go with probably anything like Mexican food.
I'm with Jeremiah on that. Any type of Mexican food, you know, it just has spicier stuff. I'm a big spice fan.
You have a Mexican restaurant there in Wartburg?
El Patron. We have two, but El Patron's better.
Well, free advertisement.
Okay, what's some of your hobbies, guys? When you're not playing sports, what do you like to do?
I'm a big hunting guy. You know, I deer hunt a lot and I squirrel hunt. And turkey hunting's probably the more thing that I do often-wise.
Jeremiah?
I just sit in my bedroom and play games.
Okay.
Mine's either be I have like two hobbies, is video games and also spending time with family. I love playing with my little brother. I love playing with him. It's really fun.
Gavin?
For me, probably riding my four-wheeler. I love riding my four-wheeler.
You ever go to, let's go back to Gavin. You ever go four-wheeling up in, where you go four-wheeling at?
Mainly tree farm. Like to.
I was trying to think.
I'm bad at that too. Yeah.
Okay, Hunter?
One of my hobbies, I like to just run around and chase my cat. It sounds weird, but being honest, whenever my cat is running, he will run anywhere. I have climbed up almost a full 40-foot tree just to grab him. And my other hobby is probably hanging out with Caleb.
Hanging out with. What's your cat's name?
Pugsley.
Pugsley.
His tail curls like a pug's.
Okay. Eli?
Like Caleb said, one of my favorite hobbies is hunting and fishing. But I like to spend time with the family, like Aaron said. I like to sit around and play with my little baby sister and shoot basketball outside and stuff like that.
It's, some of the things, you have a fun fact, something about you that a hidden talent?
Not really. I ain't got one.
You have a phobia?
Not really. There's some things I'm a little bit scared of, but not much.
Okay. Hunter? Have any hidden talents?
I feel like I do. I just don't pay attention to myself.
You have anything you're afraid of?
Oh, just big bodies of water. I could not imagine being stuck in the middle of the ocean with no boat around me. Just knowing my only way out is drowning.
Okay.
No, you cannot. If you're
Gavin?
out in the middle.
Some interesting characters, huh?
Honestly, like Hunter said, I don't really pay attention to myself to have a secret talent. And probably one of my phobias is probably heights. I'm terrified of heights.
Okay.
I kind of have like a hidden talent. It isn't much of a hidden talent, but I'm like double jointed in some places on my knees and thumbs. And for my phobia, I don't know if it's really a phobia, but I hate thinking. Like if I'm ever in the dark, I always think there's something watching me or staring me down, looking at me. It just creeps me out.
I don't know what my talent is, but my biggest fear is my brother Damon.
Your brother Damon?
Yeah.
Caleb?
I really don't have a hidden talent, but like Aaron said, I'm not really afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of what's inside of the dark, like just looking at me or something. It just gives me chills.
Okay, guys, what's it like playing for Coach Tinkers up here, Coach Payton, Coach Heath? What's it like playing for them?
I like it, but they do scream a lot.
Probably the funniest things that they've done is like argue with each other during practice about how many more minutes is left in one drill or anything like that. It's just funny.
Jeremiah?
I think they're pretty good coaches. It's pretty fun watching them fight and argue over stuff and during practice and at games. And it's especially funny watching Heath just throw his headset across the game fields.
Yeah, no doubt.
I really love having them as a coach. They taught me so many things about football I honestly didn't know, and I just love spending time with them, having my coach, watching them argue and fight all the time about how much minutes we have left in the position, or defense or offense, and especially when Coach Heath always tries to call out offense plays when it's obviously Tinker's, and he's like offense coordinator. It's funny as crap. And I just love Heath's long talks. Like at the end of practice, he always has this usually one big speech. I just love him.
I love them having that as coaches. It's funny as heck. Listen to Tinker scream at Coach T of how long it's time. You have him talking.
Okay, Hunter. Sure, Hunter have something to say here.
I can abbreviate both of them coaches in one word. Well, kind of two. A headache. They scream the entire practice. And, like, Heath, if you're not running your laps, the second he gets there, he will yell at everybody. You could be running, and he could see two people walking, and he screams at everybody. They're cool coaches, except whenever they're trying to do, like, if you're on defense or offense and they're trying to be a player, it's kind of hard. Like, I've been stiff-armed by a different coach many times. I've been trucked. I mean, we have more coaches, and some of them don't care about you, really. They will run you over.
Oh,
and I have learned that firsthand.
Hunter, can you imitate one of them?
Oh, God. Imitate. Wait, what's imitate mean?
Man.
How they act or how they talk?
Oh, Barnett, he act like, I don't know why, but I'm one of his main targets. He'll act, look, no matter what, he always tries to find a way to get me in trouble or pick on me. He don't, like, any of these other guys, he'll walk right by him. He walks by me, and he'll stiff-arm the crap out of me or shove me or anything. He finds a way to get me in trouble.
Okay, Eli?
Well, it's been fun as having them as coaches. One of them's my stepdad and the other's my uncle. And, well, it's funny hearing them fight at practice because one day they were rolling around on the ground and stuff, and it made the whole team laugh, and we were just sitting there watching them. And
oh, he's actually rolling around on the
yeah,
field?
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt.
And who won?
I'd say Heath won.
Heath?
Definitely.
Oh,
yeah.
The big brother?
Yeah, he definitely won that one. No.
All right, guys, before you go, give a shout out. Okay.
I'd like to shout out my dad, Donald Monroe Williams Jr.
I'd give a shout out to my mother. If it wasn't for her, I probably honestly wouldn't be playing football right now. She's the one that taught me mostly almost everything about football. She was always the one throwing ball with me and got me into that. So I want to shout out to my mother.
Gavin?
I'd like to shout out my sister. Without her, I wouldn't be able to make it through the day, make it through my life. I just want to shout out Claire Elizabeth Keithley.
Jeremiah?
I want to shout out my mom and dad and my big brother Damon.
Caleb?
I want to give a shout out to my dad because without him trying to hurt me in the floors when we're trying to like tussle, without me hitting my head on everything, I don't know if I would be as tough as I am today.
Well, guys, thank y'all for coming out tonight, and congratulations on the season you had, and good luck at high school at Wartburg. What's that, Hunter?
My dad dropped me down the steps when I was a child. I don't remember much, but I think it kind of did affect me now.
Okay. And We're going to take another break.
I'm getting fired. There's no doubt. That's it for me.
Wow. Game of the week coming up. It's Coalfield. They're hosting a Unaka. Right here you see this special edition game of the week. Second round of the playoffs, the Unaka Rangers and the Coalfield Yellow Jackets. So we're going to take another break, and we have some more Bulldogs to meet. So stick around. You're watching Locker Room Chat.
Football is back, and OEB Law is excited for a season full of big hits, perfect plays, and those nail-biting near misses. If you've been injured, OEB Law will come to your defense and tackle any obstacle blocking you from scoring a full and fair settlement. Call OEB Law 865-546-1111 and turn your wreck into a check.
Every holiday season, you make plans. On Thanksgiving, you plan a meal. On Black Friday and Cyber Monday, you plan to get good deals. And on Giving Tuesday, plan to give. There's so many ways you can make a difference. Volunteer. Help your neighbor. Give to charity. Say thank you to someone who has changed your life. This Giving Tuesday, let's show how big we can go and how much we can give. On Thanksgiving, we give thanks and demonstrate our gratitude. On Giving Tuesday, we give back and demonstrate our generosity of spirit. Join the movement. Be part of the change. Celebrate and encourage giving.
On-site care, now located in Kingston, is accepting new patients. Nurse practitioner Candace Templeton has over 25 years of healthcare experience in offering management of chronic care conditions. On-site care offers free sports physicals for established patients. Plus, on-site care offers hormone replacement therapy with compounded pellets. On-site care accepts most major insurance plans and offers affordable self-pay options as well. Call 865-285-9588 to schedule an appointment at On-Site Care.
Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman is East Tennessee's best choice for pre-owned vehicle sales and service. Earl Duff is a name you know and trust, and we have been meeting the automotive needs of Roane and surrounding counties for over 49 years. Shopping with us is easy, and we treat our customers like family. From sales to finance to service, we're your one-stop shop for everything automotive. Don't settle for less with your next pre-owned vehicle purchase. Come to Earl Duff Pre-Owned Center in Harriman or online at duffpreowned.com.
Roane Metals Group has been serving East Tennessee for decades. Locally owned and operated with convenient hours of operation. Roane Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing's too big or too small. Still have that clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Roane Metals Group are specialists in industrial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Roane Metals urges you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. A member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Roane Metals Group. Turn that scrap into cash.
Welcome back into the Locker Room Chat, and we're visiting with the Wartburg Middle School Bulldogs, who finished runner-up to Oneida, right?
Yes, sir.
First championship appearance since 1999. So once again, congratulations, guys, for that. We just met some of the players. We're going to meet. We got 5 more to meet here in a little bit, but we're visiting with head coach Peyton Tinker and his brother, assistant coach Heath Tinker, and we're glad y'all here with us.
Thank you for having us.
Happy to be here.
You got some characters on your team.
Oh, like I said, we're probably gonna get fired. There's no doubt. There's no doubt.
And all that rolling around, that was just staged, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was. We didn't really fist fight. He would probably win if it came down to it, but we were probably wrestling around. He probably made me mad or something.
Yeah.
There's a lot of wrestling. After practice, me and him wrestling around and them wrestling around with Coach Barnett, Coach Morton, Coach Wilson. So we have a lot of fun at practice.
Yeah, it keeps the team loose. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Good
it
to have a
does.
little fun.
Right.
But as I mentioned for the break there, the OEB Law Game of the Week, UNACA is at Cofield, and that'll be Friday night, 7 o'clock here on the Channel 12.
Online only.
Online only, oh. Online only, so how do you find it online? Just BBB? Facebook. Yeah, Facebook, online only, no TV, so yeah. Be sure and check that out. Big game. So guys, we're going to pick some games here for we meet these other young Bulldogs, and we'll start out with this Cofield game. Walter?
Cofield, I think, will take UNACA.
Okay, Heath?
Cofield's too much for UNACA. They'll have a rematch with Oliver Springs next week with Tyler Harper coming back to Rochelle Field.
Yeah, those teams up in that region have good records usually, and UNACA might be a good team. I know they got a really good player, but Cofield will absolutely probably wear them out.
Yeah, UNACA was it defeated
Greenback
last week.
They got a really good receiver. It might be a quarterback/receiver. I'm not sure, but it's very good.
Cole Hines' last couple of home games, I don't see him losing those.
Right. Quite the quarterback. I'll take Cofield as well. As you mentioned, Heath, Oliver Springs, 6-5, traveling to Cloudland. That's going to be a good game. Cloudland defeated Oakdale last week, eliminated them. Oliver Springs with the big win last week at home. Traveling to Cloudland, going to be a tough place to play. But I'm going to take the Bobcats to go up there and get a win.
Well, I wish I could say that, but I'm going to have to pick Cloud.
Okay. You took Cloudland last week.
Yeah, I did.
I will go Oliver Springs. I'm not sure. I know Cloudland had a really good team last year, and they've lost a lot. They just beat an Oakdale team, I believe, right? Oakdale last week. Very, very much improved Oakdale team. However, Coach Harper's got the Bobcats rolling. Had a minor hiccup at Cofield a few weeks ago, but that'll be a good learning experience for them. I think they're gonna take it.
I definitely think I'm going to Oliver Springs. Cloudland's a tough place to play. I played there 2 times. It's a frozen tundra up there. Playoff time. It's a tough atmosphere to play in. But Coach Harper, like Heath said, that he's got him going. Really good coach. Respect him a lot. I've got a good relationship with him. And if they got a good young team, they're going to be tough to deal with in a few years, and especially next year. But yeah, I'm going all Bobcats in this one.
We got a call. Let's take first call of the night. The locker room chat. You're on the air.
Oh,
we lost it. I'd like to go real quick on these games. Another single A game, Gordonsville at South Pitt. Walter?
South Pitt.
I'll take South Pitt as well.
I will actually take Gordonsville because I believe they can throw the ball better than South Pitt.
I'm going to go South Pitt. It's at South Pitt. That's why I'm picking that. But that's going to be a great game.
2A, Monterey at Hampton.
I'll go with Hampton.
I think I'm going to go Hampton also on that one.
Hampton's huge.
Yeah, Hampton. They're ranked in 2A, pretty high.
Runner-up last year in the AA championship.
South Green's at York. South Green eliminating Rockwood last week for the 3rd time in 4 years.
That sort of blew my mind. And York got a win, of course, last week too. But
I'll go with the York Dragons.
That's what I'm going with, the York Dragons as well.
They just knocked off Rockwood. Did you say it was West Green?
And South Green.
South Green.
South Green.
I'll probably go with them.
I'm going to go South Green, too. They got a lot of athletes. York tries to play that smash mouth football, and I think South Green's going to be a little quicker than them. They had a record-setting quarterback last year that they lost, but they're a really good football team. South Green.
Looking down at some of the other games, another big game in the area, Elizabethton at Anderson County. Anderson County won early in the year, 35-34. Elizabethton eliminated Anderson County last year in the 2nd round, 45-7. I think the Mavericks get revenge and make it a sweep this year.
I think they're way too tough. Elizabethton is tough, but Anderson County's got it all together this year.
I'll go Anderson County. I like them and Greenville to meet probably a week or two later and have that big showdown.
I'm going to go Anderson County also.
You have a call, Chandler? No call? Let's turn our attention back to these young men over here. Got about 15 minutes left in the show, so don't want to shortchange them. But, Walter, you have a question to start them out with?
Yes, guys, tell us how long you've been playing football and who your biggest rival is.
I've only played 2 years. I just started last year, and then I played this year. I only played last year, and then this year. I just started last year.
And who's your biggest rival so far?
So far, I don't know. I don't really have one.
You just like to play them all?
Yep.
Okay. And who's your favorite?
My favorite? I don't know. I don't really have one.
Okay. Next fellow over here. How long have you been playing football?
I played my third grade year at Sunbright, and I played my third grade year at Sunbright, and then I started again at my 7th grade year, and then my 8th grade year this year.
And you're a good-sized fellow. Are you going to be playing guard or tackle?
I'm playing center right now.
Oh, well, you're definitely on the line. There's no doubt about that. That's a big responsibility playing the center.
Got a call here. Let's go ahead and take it.
Okay.
Locker room chat, you're on the air.
Oh, hey. It's, Peyton Fink. Oh,
Go ahead.
Did I hear my name? I got a fan.
Yeah, I got a fan out there. Okay, let's go to Tyler in the back.
And who is, how long have you been playing football?
I haven't really been playing long. I just started last year. So, yeah, that's about it.
And who is your biggest rival so far?
Malachi.
Malachi, okay. Go one-on-one with him.
Yeah.
No, I mean, who's your favorite team or hardest team to play, or one that you have the biggest rival?
I don't really have one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go down here to Malachi. Who's y'all's biggest rival, Malachi?
I don't have a rival.
Y'all have a biggest rival?
No, it's just whoever.
Coalfield or?
No.
Mm-hmm. How long you been playing?
I've been playing since I was 4. I started at Sunbright, and then I went to Wartburg.
Okay. Got a call coming in. Locker room chat, you're on the air.
Yeah, I got a question for the Tinker Brothers. I'd like to know who I got a question for the Tinker Brothers. I'd like to know who the best fisherman they know is.
The best fisherman we know, that's Gary Ashley. Gary L. Ashley from Morgan County.
Definitely Gary Ashley. There's no other answer.
No. It's our stepdad.
Oh. Any other questions? Gary?
Flames off.
All right.
Jesse.
Let's go back up to Camden. Oh, we got Jesse there. How long you been playing, Jesse?
Played 6th grade year, didn't play 7th, and I played this year at ball.
You play any other sports?
Nah, just football.
Who would you say your biggest rival is?
Probably Oneida.
Oneida? All right, guys, we're going to ask y'all some quick questions here. Just pass the mic around. Camden, start with you. Who's your favorite team, NFL team?
The Titans.
Maverick?
I'm going to have to go with the Titans as well.
Okay, real quick. Pass it around.
Yeah, same. Tennessee Titans are my favorite.
Yeah, probably Tennessee Titans.
Oh, Titans.
Saints.
Saints. Okay. You got a favorite player?
Michael Thomas.
Jesse?
Michael Thomas.
Michael Thomas. Okay. Camden?
I had to go with Tyreek Hill.
I'm going to have to go with Malik Willis.
New quarterback?
Yeah.
Mine's probably George Pickens, just because he's just so aggressive.
Mine's probably Tyreek Hill too.
Okay. Well, what's it like playing for these guys up here?
It's fun, stressful.
Okay. Camden?
Very hyperactive, I'd say, and what he said, very stressful. Because you mess up, you definitely got to deal. If it's defense, you got to deal with Coach Heath, and then offense, you always got Coach Tinker trying to reassure you.
Did you say they're a player's coach?
Yeah,
Enjoy playing for them?
I do.
What's it like playing for the Tinker brothers?
Well, if you get on their good side, then it's pretty fun. But if you get on their bad side, they'll yell at you and make you run. That's the worst part.
Okay. Tyler, same question.
I honestly enjoy it, and it's probably the best experience, really. So I don't really mind the running. So.
Malachi, what's it like playing for Peyton and Heath?
It's pretty fun. It's,
pretty fun,
yeah. Just it's gotta be nice.
You got a call? Got another call here. Locker room chat, you're on the air.
I have a question for Peyton Tinker. This is for Avery Stafford. I'd like to know who has better hands, me or Micah.
Who has better hands? That's Avery Stafford. He's one of our players. Him or Micah, who has better hands? I don't know. That's tough. I think both of you are equally bad at catching footballs.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
I love you boys. I'm kidding.
We'll find out next.
That's right.
Coming.
Yeah, 7th grade boys. They're a mess. I love them to death, though.
Thank you for calling in. Walter, question? Young men up here.
Let's see. What would be the next question? Y'all play any other sports?
I don't play any other sports either.
Okay.
I don't play any other sports either. It's just too stressful just for football.
So playing center is enough as it is. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, I just stick to football.
I've played football and baseball, but football's.
You play baseball too?
Yeah, and basketball, but football's better.
Oh, you're a 3-sport person. That's pretty darn
Jesse,
good.
favorite place to eat?
Probably any Mexican restaurant. So Los Cerritos.
You go with Patron. What's the name of it in Wartburg?
I don't like El Patron. Makes me sick.
I don't mess with that restaurant stuff. I'm going with Sonic.
I like Golden Oak Buffet because I'm a big boy and I like to eat all I want.
Go where?
Golden Oak Buffet.
Where's that?
It's just over here.
Oh, okay. Don't mess around.
I just gotta agree with Camden. Just Sonic, really.
Mine's probably Diddy's up in Wartburg.
Diddy's.
Where was that?
Good bologna sandwich. You say Diddy's? Yeah, no doubt.
Diddy's.
Gas station.
Oh, yeah. Jesse, some of your hobbies.
Well, working out for, of course, football and everything, and then playing games, hang out with friends.
Plan on playing in high school?
Yeah, all throughout high school.
Mine would be hanging out with my homies, Tyler, Jordan, and Skylar.
I like to fish with all my papaw and stuff.
What's the biggest fish you caught?
I caught a 4.4 pound bass at Norris.
You fish with your papaw?
Yeah.
But that's a lot of fun.
He has a lot of experience, so I can learn from him.
Does he know, is it Gary?
Hey, about fish together.
Mine is probably hanging out with the homies as usual, or going over to Eli's house. I go over there almost every day, so yeah.
Mine's either riding or mudding.
What's Jesse's favorite food?
Anything that's steak-wise or pork chops?
I'm going to go with Jesse's answer, steak. Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
I like lasagna.
Yeah, I like steak, so.
Mine's probably hamburger.
What do you like about playing football?
Physical contact, running, staying in shape, and of course, the lovely coaches.
Where do you get your hair cut at?
Myself.
Huh?
Myself.
You cut it yourself?
No, I don't cut it.
Okay.
My favorite thing about football would probably be catching touchdowns. Definitely.
You catch some this year?
Yeah.
My favorite part about football is the physical contact on the line. And you get hit every single play. You get to make contact.
You play defense too?
My favorite thing is just to stay in shape and hang out with Camden and them, so.
Mine's probably hitting. It's physical.
All right. We got a call coming in. Locker room chat, you're on the air.
I have a question for Peyton Tinker.
This is for me.
Go ahead.
Tinker, I have to say one thing. You probably know who I am, but where do you get your tan?
Who is? What was the question?
Where do you get your tan?
Where do I get my tan? Man, you kids are ruthless. Planet Fitness. Yeah. No shame.
All right, guys, go and give a shout out real quick.
My mom and dad for just being here, even though I'm annoying.
I want to give a shout out to Skylar and Jordan, who are at home right now, probably waiting on me to get on Fortnite.
I'm going to give a shout out to my Nana and my Papa. They're very supportive, and they come to all my games, and they just support me a lot.
My mom and Heath, because they've just always been there for me. They're always at my game, except for my mom, but obviously Heath is at my game.
My mom and my dad, they've just been there.
Well, guys, we thank you all for coming out tonight and congratulating on the season, and good luck next year on the high school level.
Thank you.
We got about 30 seconds, guys, and Peyton and Heath, anything before we go?
I'll just say that, during the season, I don't try to butter them up too much, but we had some really good stuff. I do stats every week. Had some phenomenal players, but even better kids, and, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, just thanks for having us, guys.
Thank you. Sir.
Really good opportunity to have us out here with these kids. We love these kids.
Okay. Thank y'all for being here. For Walter Stair, I'm John Williams. We'll see you next week on the Locker Room Chat.
Football is back.